One Shepherd is not about the fighting. One Shepherd is about the reflection and the leadership development. But the vehicle of how we get there, that's in the gunfighting and the military simulation. You all have something to gain by the challenges and the experiences and the trials that you're going to find at One Shepherd.
One Shepherd, 10 shot, follow me!
What's up guys, it's Brian Wang from Monarch Defense. I've been wanting to make this video for several weeks. I've talked about it for several years, about coming here to One Shepherd. Here I am. One Shepherd Alpha Company. This is in Missouri, Ullman, Missouri. This is the spring semester of 2025. And I'm here as a first-time student. I'll be going through a basic warrior course or warrior basic course. And I'm gonna be taking you guys along with me. We have a lot of customers that have an interest in this type of training. Small unit leadership, military style, tactical training. And maybe you guys have a curiosity about what it entails, what you're doing, what kind of gear you need or what to expect. So I want to take you guys along with me on the journey and share with you the things that I learned, the things that I find, and we'll just see what happens. No travel trip would ever be complete without some delays. Flights got delayed by several hours.
Flight 3039.
Is it okay if I join you here? Yeah. Travel day. Boston. Grab a bag, go visit my parents' house, and then be right back here in just another 5 hours or 6 hours. Good morning guys, travel day part 2. Off to Kansas City, Missouri. Started out from San Jose yesterday, ended up in Austin late last night to have wontons with my parents because, well, you know, travel delays. But we made it work, and fortunately to my parents, they dropped me off this morning way early, like very little sleep. I got, I don't know, 3 hours of sleep. Here we are back at the airport where we just were last night. Good morning. All right, Kansas City, Missouri. We're almost there, so close. And apparently there's a lot of turbulence on the plane, but that 2-hour flight from Austin to Kansas City, I slept like a baby. Really needed it, so got to catch up on sleep. I think 1 hour on the first leg, 3 hours at my parents' house, 2 hours on the plane. Yeah, adds up to 6 hours of choppy sleep. All right, let's get this going. My ride is a gentleman named Jack. And hopefully it all goes smooth and we hit it off and have some great conversation. Otherwise, we're gonna have 3 hours of awkward silence when we drive over there. But yeah, seems like a great guy. He's already waiting for me at the cell phone lot. So, well, there's my sea bag. Where is my rucksack? Yay, my rucksack! I missed you. There you are. Hey, Jack. Hello, Jack. Brian Wang. Jack, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thanks for welcoming me to Missouri. Let's go get some Missourian food. How do you call it? Missourian food?
Missourian?
Missourian?
I think Missourian food? I in there. I don't think anybody would pronounce the I.
Missourian?
Missouri.
All right, let's go find us some biscuits and gravy. I came all this way and I am hungry. The Smithton Diner.
Gentlemen, thank you.
I love it.
The whole point of it is it's a shakedown rug. See if any of your gears rubbing or pinching or...
Alpha Company, One Shepherd, 2025 spring semester.
We made it.
Here we are.
What's up, Jade?
The big deal is chiggers and ticks, and the solution is permethrin spray. It took a couple years for me to schedule this, actually. I've known about this organization, One Shepherd Leadership Institute, for several years now. But finally I'm out here, and it's beautiful.
We had a little bit of cloudy weather earlier today. Today's day 0. So guys are rolling in, they're getting to know each other, meeting old friends. And I can make a couple of observations right off the bat. The friendships that these guys build by spending, you know, a week and a half at a time with each other, freezing their nuts off. I heard that probably like 6 or 7 times just in the course of storytelling today. Freezing their nuts off, crawling in the mud, you know, lack of sleep. The shared suffering creates a bond.
Say good morning to next year's students.
Morning.
Good morning. How's morale today?
Great. We slept very little. Great.
And it really amazes me the friendships that, you know, these guys have. And of course, I'm still meeting everybody. Everybody's a fresh face and a fresh name, but I think that's really cool about this particular organization. People are here from all over the country, all over the world. We got students from California, like me. We have students from Texas, Ohio. We have students from Washington, D.C. We have students coming out here from all over the place. I saw a Wisconsin license plate. Let's explore this adventure together. Thank you all for watching.
One Shepherd, 10 shot, volley! And salute! Ready, two! At ease. Hey guys, welcome back. And new Warriors, welcome. Is everybody having a good time so far? Yeah. We got a little bit of rain coming in. We do have a medical vehicle on board to shuttle anybody that has a real world medical emergency to the hospital. So also with your instructions on that, and then we'll brief you on how that needs to happen. Be real cognizant, it's a buddy system. Showers, you don't get showers every single night, you get showers every second day, right? So no showers tonight, showers tomorrow. When it comes to the chow hall, everybody knows Warrior Basic goes in and eats first. The reason for that is because they have the most to do. They have the most workload. So Warrior Basics in the front. Second to that's going to be land nav on this. Make sure you're telling the galley staff, the cooks and everything, make sure you're telling them thank you for being out here and doing this, because it's hard work to cook for this many guys. So make sure you're also telling them thank you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is J-Rob. I'm the CEO. This is my exo, Hamilton Troy, and most of you I think have met our instructors there in the back.
Yeah, make sure you carry on with this point. Make sure you wear gloves.
Everybody hear that? And iPro.
Yep.
Okay, we've got gloves, we've got iPro. Lights out, 2300, Reveille 0615 is always on the PT field. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit different because we have a ruck march. So we have a 2-mile ruck march tomorrow. And so instead of getting up and doing footwork or blade work or any of that kind of stuff, we're going to test and tune your gear. And that's the purpose of the ruck march, is to test and tune your gear. On that battle rattle, you can do whatever you want on a battle rattle, as long as it's not obscene, stupid, I kill people for a living or whatever the hell. You know, like, let's keep that in check, right? This is a leadership school, not a combat science school. So let's keep that in check. Safe round?
Do you want to do like stop X or flash in case of real world emergency?
Absolutely. Okay. You want to cover it?
Yeah. So if you're on the radio and there's a real world emergency, you do not use pro words anymore. You say flash. That indicates that there is a real world emergency. We will stop X and actually address that emergency in plain speak on the radio and deal with that. It means a pause of the exercise.
So we got to mount your halo. Did you get the halo yet? There
Yeah,
it is.
halo.
Okay. We've got to get that mounted to this.
Okay.
So
Does this go in the back?
this goes in the back.
All right. So you just zip tie it?
Yeah. So if you got, looks like you got some inserts here. If we got some zip ties, we can zip tie it through like this.
Zip ties. There we go.
You know, this plastic flexes, you can get a zip tied there.
What's up, dude? We'll let the new people perspectives see the process, kind of the behind the scenes process.
So what I would do is
Everybody's seen Brent's videos and it's got a lot of the action, but I think the behind the scenes stuff is actually more interesting to me.
Always makes sense. However, you're going to be running and gunning, these sensors have to be on the outside. So if you want to put your Camelback on first and then put your rig on, that'll leave your miles gear exposed. Otherwise, yeah,
That's pretty handy.
You don't want to hide your gear. or your miles gear, I should say.
No.
That would be unsportsmanlike.
Dress up.
Yeah, try not to put a muzzle down in the mud.
Okay. We are right on the punch.
If you stick your barrel in the mud and then you fire it, your gun blows up.
Yeah.
It's actually really bad.
Yeah.
Blank adapter is going to stop that from happening in training, but with a regular barrel, regular bullets, it's actually a really big problem.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. There we are. Looking sharp. Okay, Andrew, we have to get the poncho underneath your sensors.
Oh, underneath.
That's what we were working over there with Eddie.
Okay. Comfortable.
Weird.
Yeah, make sure you keep this pouch buckled, otherwise you'll lose your magazines. Looking sharp.
All good?
Let's get these canteen pouches buckled in. You got water? Great. Canteen pouch buckled. I'm missing a button, so.
Yep. Every single rifle is zeroed indoor and verified on first kill at 100 meters outside. Anything beyond that, when the grid opens up, you still have the same kill probability. The system randomly throw out 1 out of 20 shots to encourage you to engage the target more than once, because you're never trained on 1 shot, 1 kill, not with a carbine. So if you see a target, don't just fire 1 shot and wait until the guy takes the hats off. At least do 2, because you might be running into the 5% chance of the rounds you fired get randomly thrown out by the system.
Let's talk about what's that? Control box. Yeah, we'll get to that. So just real quick, talking about that system and talking about making hits, we do have a minimum safe engagement distance. We'll say 10 meters.
Yeah.
Okay. Reason for that is like, yeah, we got the BFAs on the end of the gun. It still expels hot gases. You know, something could malfunction. It's just trying to minimize the risk of, say, something catastrophically happening. Okay. So let's say, Luke, you're close engagement. I run up. So in order to get a safety kill, both your feet have to be planted on the ground. Safety kill, bang, 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 right? If you go up and you say safety kill, bang, bang, and your gun doesn't go off, that means your gun didn't go off. You didn't get that kill. Right. You just hear, he's got your ass, all right?
He will safety kill you.
He will safety kill you.
Let's say there's enough obstacle in the middle. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to come around the corner, which is already very close up, right? I don't know. When I come up, I see him, and that's close enough. The first thing I need to think about, okay, safety. And that in that case, no shooting, safety kill. But is his weapon also pointed my way somewhat? Yes. Okay. If I fire 2 shots into his body, is he gonna die immediately without squeezing his trigger?
Which is not bad.
Yes, no. So there's a chance, even if I shoot him, I die too, right? So based on the honor system, if we do come around the building, a corner or something, and then we're both pointing at each other, the safety kill is mutual. I die, you both sit down for 2 hours.
Probably see a bulk.
Yeah, it's not worth fighting over a single kill in the entire duration of the training. We're not a gunfighter school. This is a leadership school.
All right, one more quick thing on that and the honor system. So if you guys, when you guys are in the bush, like lasers don't go through like foliage, okay? So if you're like hunkered down, there's different things cover and concealment. So if you've got concealment and you're getting shot at in a bush, you might want to just take your hat off and consider yourself dead. Otherwise, you're cheating yourself of the training opportunity. Because you probably
So, you can't, as you are right now, step off and get in some action. You have to pair your weapon to your control box first. Alright? So what you're going to do is typically yours is going to be oriented like this, where it's kind of downward. You're going to hit I, down, down, enter. And you might not hear it from here, but I know he can hear it. It's now beeping.
All right, so hit I,
Oh shit.
or it looks like an exclamation mark.
I.
Down, down,
Low battery. Weapon not ready. Down, down.
and then hit the enter.
And
all right, now listen, guys.
Down.
If you guys hear this,
That's odd.
that means they're shooting at you, and bullets are flying right by your head.
down, down, enter. Position weapon
Yes,
to
perfect.
enable.
All right, so then you're going to take your SAT, and it needs to see this little guy up here.
This guy. That. Like this?
Yeah, it's going to, boom, beep.
okay.
All right, so you're now married to your system. So every time you get shot, you're going to have to remarry your system after you get, I don't want to say revived, but that's essentially what's happening. Reset, yeah.
Okay.
We have to wait 2 hours? It depends.
Depends on the scenario.
So when I'm low crawling, I got my sling kind of over top of my wrist like this. So when you're low crawling and pushing forward, you're not digging into the ground.
Occasionally stop and look up to make sure you're going in the right direction. Okay, you want to scan? Okay, very good.
You may not get any further orders. You may just get the order of push the contact. So in absence of further orders, you revert to buddy rushing.
Contact! 2 o'clock! Ba-ba-ba-ba-boom! Ba-ba-ba-ba-boom!
Buddy rushes.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-boom!
Get with your buddy. A man in front. Hold first.
Trent, I cover you, move.
Man in back. Rushes first.
You move. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang.
Move it.
There you go.
Moving.
Bang, 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 move on. Bang, bang.
Set. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, bang. Moving. Bang, 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 bang. Move it. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, bang, bang. Moving. Bang, 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 bang.
You know he's down. He might not be the only one in there, but you can also say, he's down, and continue to scan the area for any other bad guys and keep calling them out.
To me, the benefit of a monocular setup is you have one eye aided, one eye unaided. There's other benefits to that if you have to go white light quickly for some reason. Having an IR source on you, like let's say you need to see into a wood line, it's dark, you have your night vision on, you're not going to turn on a white light, you're going to turn on your IR light if you have it on your gun. That's projecting infrared light onto the area you're aiming at, right? The problem is if somebody else has night vision, even if they have a crappy Gen 1 night vision unit, they're going to see that projection. They're going to see that. Same thing if you have an aiming laser like this one here. I could turn this laser on, you're not going to see it right now. Under night vision, it'll look like a lightsaber, all right?
And it points both ways.
I treat IR light the same way as I treat white light, very cautiously. I don't use it often unless I'm like actively engaging something.
It is the end of day one Shepherd 2025 spring semester Alpha Company in Missouri. I'm in the basic warrior class, and we did a bunch of bounding movements today. We did some hand signals, patrol formation, setting security. We got a technique for crossing roads. We did react to contact. We did malfunction clearing on blanks, although not a whole lot of detail on any of these, just a quick run through. Did a lot of I'm up, he sees me, I'm down. That was a good workout, man. I'm pretty sore right now, to be honest. But now the sun's going down finally, and I'm supposed to step off on some night mission, but I guess the other students are learning how to brief the mission, so we're kind of waiting on them. And man, I'm ready to go to bed. It's 8 o'clock here, Missouri time, 6 p.m. California time. I'm beat, tired. So yeah, get ready with me. One Shepherd edition. You see, I'm wearing my Gore-Tex, Woodland Gore-Tex. Today's been like drizzling, a little bit of sun, and then drizzle. Pretty nice weather, actually, spring weather. Not bad, not cold, but just can't quite make up its mind if it wants to rain or not rain. Just kind of spring drizzle. Quite pleasant, to be honest. Temperatures have been like mid-60s, you know. It's been really nice, actually. Couldn't complain. It means we're training. We're not worried about sunburns. We're not worried about getting overheated. Mosquitoes are not bad. You know, I came in here really afraid of the chiggers, which are like little mites, little 8-legged things that bite you, but haven't had any issues or scratchies. So anyways, the weapon I'm using is a Klein Machining. This is one of the lighter Klein Machining AR RPK style weapons, or what One Shepherd calls the LSW, the light support weapon. As you can see, it's just an AR-15 carbine. It's equipped with Mike Klein's new bipod, which I'm testing out for him, and it's got a lot of things going for it. It's working pretty good. You can see this device here is called the Small Arms Transmitter, and the blank adapter. This one's the red one, but it's been painted. So every time you fire the blank, the Small Arms Transmitter puts out a laser, and it's just as my style. They were short on slings, so I rig up a general purpose strap with paracord. My favorite setup. Yeah, the new bipod. These are H-bar barrels. FRT triggers. Nice bipod. Coolest thing about this bipod, force to overcome. You want to open it, you want to close it, no pulling, no buttons, and if you're rough with it, it doesn't break. You can be rough with it and just close it up. That's the best thing about it. So pretty excited to see these things hitting the market soon. And Mike's had me testing these things out, giving me some feedback. You can find more information about him on smallteamsupply.com. And his name's Mike Klein's a great guy. He's over here. And we've been having a lot of good chats about gear nerds. And anyways, okay, we're wearing Woodland today. You can't see my legs, but just a Woodland BDU bottom. For gloves, it's going to be a set of Nomex flight gloves. And I've started putting my name with Sharpie on everything. So Nomex flight gloves are comfortable, you got good dexterity. They're pretty thin, they're not too hot. You know, I'm a sucker for old Alice gear. So here's my Alice rig. Mine's set up with malice clips on the inside. You guys can see that there. 2 canteens, 4 magazine pouches, some med gear on the back, K-bar knife over here. Now what you'll find is these black dots. These are something known as the harness for the Miles 2000 system. And you zip tie it on, kind of just rig it up this morning. I'll show you how you wear it. And it's just zip tied onto your gear. So that way, as you get shot, there's a little speaker that beeps, and if you get a beep beep, it tells you that there's you know, it's sonic boom passing nearby. And then there's this little computer display that if you get killed, you need to reset it. So you use this computer display, and an instructor has to use this thing called a God gun, and like a TV remote, and zap you to reset you. Then you got to pair up your weapon. And oh, I think they're calling. I think it's time to go. Helmet, night vision, time to roll. See you later.
I'm really proud of you for making alternate link-up sites. I didn't know if you're going to do that or not, and you had several. Because oftentimes, you can't make your what?
Time hacks?
Hacks and primary link-up points. That's a thing. That's a thing. But you made alternate, you made plans for that, and when one team had trouble and figured out they may not be in the area that they need to be in, that plan was altered because they realized that they could not make that time hack to that link-up. Who almost got run over by the ATV?
That was me.
That was you.
Oh,
Okay. Just for future reference, never stop on a road.
yeah. Well, I didn't quite know I was on a road. And you guys were right off.
Okay. So just, you know,
It was like right there.
try and find some cover, a tree. Trees, ATVs don't really run over trees very well.
Yeah,
You know,
I was stuck in between because you guys
I
were
get
like
it.
right off me.
I get it. But again, safe place to fail. Safe place to fail.
yeah.
Right? And that's, I mean, that's pretty much it. But proud of you guys for putting all into it. It's been a long day for WBC for sure. MCC, you're a bunch of lazy sacks. You know, Land Nav, you know, you worked your ass off as well today. But no, proud of you for having the game plan and getting your mission together and getting that stuff organized as quick as you did. All right.
Okay, so who is the WBC guy that was on Alpha? Okay, you go ahead and tell me what the plan was, Ryan.
1 second. Well, we would be inserted and not know where we were inserted until we got out.
Okay.
Once we get out, then figure out where we are, plot it. We're moving to a link-up point. Link-up point located, well, drop-off located 481719 or 70. Link-up point 483119 or 11. Once we got to link-up point, we would say silver.
So you would be right about here?
I have actually no idea where it is, but it looks about right because we were on the road.
The gate with the field.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's where that was our insertion point.
Yep.
All right. And then
Packing list. Well, this is one of the common questions, and I know everybody's going to stress over it. So let me just go down real quick with you the things that I had packed, and it's really not that complicated. Basically, you're going to bring 2 sets of uniforms, you know, military style uniforms. One is going to be woodland camo, one's going to be OD green. Your hat you're going to wear is called a boonie hat, also known as a bush hat, or kind of this floppy brimmed hat. And that's really it. You need a pair of boots. Boots need to be coyote brown, which I actually don't have coyote brown boots. So mine are tan, kind of too light for this environment for camouflage. But really, it's not a big deal because they have a lot of equipment you can borrow or rent. And you know, for those who are coming in, if you're watching this video from Monarch Defense,
ask me, hit me up. I got a bunch of gear you can borrow and take over here. It's not a problem. Now, once you get here, they'll give you weapon, they'll give you ammunition, they'll give you magazines, so you don't got to worry about any of that stuff. You do need to worry about, you know, a sleeping bag, a backpack, and, you know, some toiletries, t-shirts and socks and stuff like that, but really it's not that complicated. So really what you need to bring, a set of camo in woodland, a set of green, it's a uniform but it's green, so that way there's two different teams, and this is force on force training, meaning both teams are going at it against each other, and sometimes you'll be on the blue 4, which is going to be the woodland team, and sometimes you'll be on the op 4 on the solid green or OD green, olive drab green team. And really that's simple. It's just that. There's not a whole lot else that you have to pack. You don't have to worry about weapons. You don't have to worry about stuff. And if you're flying in, like I flew in, it was a huge pain in the ass to bring all this equipment. You can actually borrow all your equipment. And I believe they charge $100 for, you know, the big backpack and all your battle rattle and your canteens and magazine pouches and everything that you need. You know, you can borrow it for $100, which is honestly cheaper than bringing it if you're flying. Now, people come in here from all over the country. They're driving long distances, so they can bring a lot more gear. But when you show up here, everybody sleeps in a tent, and there's some cots, and you can get to know everybody. And it's cool because some of us are first time here in the Basic Warrior, but then you have a lot of guys that are, you know, 4th semester here, 5th, 6th semester here. They're what they call the green hat instructors. I guess they're junior level instructors, and then they're black hat. They're more senior instructors. And what I understand is all the instructors are volunteers. So they make their own time, they give up their vacation days, and they come out here to share this love, this passion with you guys. So what exactly do we do? Well, we're about to find out. But from what I understand, again, I'm coming here as a new person. So even if I have experience from other places, this is still new to me. You know, I see it as very similar to what I may have experienced in ROTC. You know, that was now 20 years ago. I was going to UC Riverside and going to ROTC at San Bernardino. I never ended up finishing ROTC. I see it as kind of a way to complete that training in a sense, 20 years later. I don't know how your experience jives with that, but you know, everybody has a personal reason for why they're here. But I think one of the things that's undeniable, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a lot of camaraderie and should be some good adventures.
Morning.
How you doing, guys?
Right. Correct. Not ready to practice school.
Well, gentlemen and ladies, dude, this is day 2, One Shepherd 2025, spring semester. Everything hurts on me, man. I'm being macho. I'm carrying extra gear. I'm wearing a helmet and this extra camera on my night vision. Armor. Nobody else wears armor out here. Volunteer to carry the heavier weapons. Oh man, it hurts. Everything on me is sore. But there's these dudes in their 60s and they're making it look easy. And I'm thinking either there's something wrong with me or there's something very, very right about them. Maybe it's because they've been doing this every spring and fall for a couple of years. Man, can't see shit. They tell you, okay, wear safety glasses because there's tree branches and thorns and stuff. You don't want to poke your eye out. Yeah, with the helmet and the night vision and the safety glasses, we get in the woods and immediately get fogged up. I'm struggling to make this look easy, folks. I'm trying, but man, I have some deficiencies big time. I need to get my physical fitness up. I need to be stretched and more limber, and I need to start carrying weight and rucking more. The terrain here is just so different from what I'm used to. It's so green and lush and wooded and thick. And I'm used to being able to see the sky. I'm used to being able to see the stars, so night vision works good, you know. Out we are in California, but out here, we're almost never in the fields. We're gonna be in the tree lines, in the forest, you know, the strips of forest and little trails. Like, we're used to wide roads that we, you know, run across and we can see both directions, but now we have little winding trails through the forest and I can't freaking get my bearings. So yeah, in the middle of the night, disorienting, in the woods, definitely, you know, a challenge. The change of terrain, the change of vegetation, the change of weather, it's big. Fortunately, speaking of weather, yesterday, day 1, it's just cloudy, drizzly, little light breeze. Today's day 2, doesn't seem to start, well, it hasn't started raining yet. It's 7:46 in the morning.
Hasn't started raining yet, but we went for a 2-mile ruck march this morning, and you know, of course, I'm realistic about what I need to carry, so I'm putting on everything, and I'm going to march it with my helmet, with the night vision, and with the armor, and no one else is going to do that. But still, like, if I choose to meet that standard, I got to be able to keep up, and I'm falling behind, and it's rough, you know, but it's a learning experience for me too. I must say the food is not bad. Food's pretty good, keeps you full. They have coffee every morning, coffee before night mission if you want it, and the people. There's something about the people here. They are, let me just, like, how do I phrase this properly? The people are so warm, they're so welcoming, they're so friendly, they're so generous. I was a dumbass, and I have so many of the rhino mounts that I forgot to bring all of them. It's like, nah, too many, I don't need this many, I don't need these extras. And then I show up and I don't have any rhino mounts for my night vision. And I ask around, and someone's like, here, borrow mine. I didn't bring a flashlight, a red headlamp. And because I keep a pocket flashlight, a white flashlight, but they need a red flashlight here after dark, after 2300, which just lights out. And you can walk around and do things if you need to quietly with a red lens, and I didn't have it. So this one guy's like, here, just take it. Like, just take it, keep it, you know, it's 20 bucks, I'll get another one. These guys are so generous, you know, so I try to be the same. You know, I brought a bunch of GP straps. Turns out the weapons, a lot of them don't have slings on them. So I tied on a bunch of GP straps, just like how we do it over at Modern Defense. And I brought some extra night vision to share, and it's just the brotherhood and watching these people like meet up with old friends that they've known for years, and they see each other every spring and fall, or see every you know, see them once a year. It's so cool to watch those bonds form, and I like what I see. This organization, One Shepherd, has something good going on. Just to clarify something, just in case you're considering coming out here, they say this once in a while when they're doing a presentation. Like, you don't need to go so hard and be so aggressive about the fighting stuff. It's good, it's important, but it's not the main thing. The infantry tactics and the small unit tactics and the fighting and the shooting, that's a vehicle to get through to the character development and the leadership development. It's not the main thing. It's really not the main goal. The fighting aspect is not the primary goal. And so I want to make that clear for you guys who are considering coming, because I think once you understand that, yeah, shooting and moving and fighting and yelling and stuff is good, but it's not the primary reason why you're here. Don't get me wrong, we do a lot of it, right? But we're not going to get wrapped up so much around winning. We're not going to be so focused on doing the latest, greatest, newest things. Yeah, they bring out some tech, you know, guys will bring personal drones and thermals, and guys will bring the personal night vision and stuff, but you can do all this with an M16A1. You can do all this with a stick, you know, with a rubber duck, and still get the vast majority of this work. Because, man, like last night, they stick us in this vehicle and it's totally pitch black and we're shut in here, we don't know, drive us around in circles, drop us off way on the other end of the property, and land nav at night. There you are, here's your drop off point, there's the coordinate. Now that you're here, I'll give you a coordinate. So that in the dark, and they're trying to get on their map and protractor and trying to figure out where they're going, and they have waypoints and they're following their compass and pace count in the middle of the night, crashing through the woods, sneaking through the woods, trying to not get found by the patrols. This is day one night mission. We didn't fire a single shot, which is good, but Op4's out there, you know, looking around for you, putting pressure on you. And again, it's not about winning against Op4. You're not going to win against them. It's that they're there to provide a presence that simulates an enemy and that gives you pressure. And under that pressure, we have certain constraints and parameters that we have to work with. Don't fire your weapon. They gave everybody a magazine of ammunition. That's just so that you don't feel so naked, but really, you're not supposed to fire it. Some of the guys didn't even have weapons because their job is map and compass. You know, their job is land navigation. They're in a whole land navigation class. And so the first thing they do, they got the map and compass class during the day, and at night, that very night, they're leading troops in the dark, doing a nighttime link up. And, you know, we missed our first rendezvous point, and then, you know, some of the guys wanted to quit and just walk back and turn on their flashlights and walk back. And Cadre was like, hey, shut that shit off.
You're still in the scenario. You're moving tactically all the way back here. You're going to fight your way back in. And with that in mind, we actually eventually made a secondary link up with the people we were supposed to meet up with. And so it was, relatively speaking, mission success. But man, it's dark, overcast, no loom, even with night vision. Like, night vision is probably worse than having no night vision, because all you see is just blurry and all the shit in front of your head, and plus it weighs your face down, and it just blocks out your senses. So people think that night vision is a big advantage, but to be honest, it's not that big of an advantage. Because yeah, you're blind. You're either blind with a bunch of shit in front of your face and a bunch of money on your head and weight on your head, or you're just blind, but like, you know, all natural. So every day you'll wear Woodland. On day 1, you'll wear OD on day 2. Day 2 is a half day. Yesterday was a full day. We woke up at 6, did a little bit of like, they do like an aggression, teamwork building kind of bayonet footwork. There's no rifle, there's no bayonet, which is, I think one thing they could improve is actually like, here's the rifle, here's the bayonet. Like, go do the movements, but with your rifle and bayonet. I think that would be more fun, in my opinion. I think people would understand the movements more naturally. It would fit better if you have an actual thing in your hands. So we have a little bit of downtime before training today. I understand we have a half day, then we have free day for laundry, go to town. I guess everybody goes and gets pizza on for dinner on day 2. And I gotta take a poop.
That's more or less what I wanted to enable.
Yeah, you got it. And if we get...
All right, if you're dead, take your cover off. Must walk into me, he's dead already.
I got safety kill, I believe. So. No, you probably got really killed.
No, mine, I didn't go off. Heard
Well,
safety kill, and I looked for a guy with real close
good job, because you were laying in the grass. Good, and I almost called you dead, but I let you play a little bit. So just as a learning thing, you probably would have been shot up by those guys in the grass.
And keep in mind, a lot of that grass will stop your laser.
No, you did. And sometimes leaves get in the way, but
keep you know, you would have bullets coming through that grass, but also keep in mind, when you stay low like that, that grass is probably blocking your laser too.
Yeah.
So typically, it's kind of a training scar we have out here. It's like real bullets, you would want to stay low as possible
and shoot through it.
Right, but out here it's like, well, you got to do what you got to do.
There's a mag around here somewhere.
Now, the way they do their training is using a system called Miles. Miles has been in use with the U.S. military for probably about 30 or 40 years now. And it's a laser that it's attached to your weapon. When you fire blanks out of your weapon, it also puts out a laser. And on your body, you wear these sensors on your head and on your chest and stuff, on your back. And when the laser hits one of these sensors, then it gives you a notification that you're dead or there's a near miss.
Get behind cover. Don't stay in the open.
Well, that tall grass ain't cover, guys.
Target. Who are you fucking shooting?
Contact, 10 o'clock, 25 meters.
Later on during the debrief, you can find out, okay, well, I got shot by so-and-so at this time, and then you can debrief and piece together the picture of who exactly shot who. This allows us to do the training really safely and allows the training to be very realistic, but again, not so realistic that there's danger with the bullets. So there's a balance between the safety aspect and the realism aspect.
Shoot, move, communicate. We're not shooting.
Dead ahead. In the tree line.
Contact, run! Let's go, move, Cody, move. All right, move.
Moving! Moving! Find cover. If you can't find cover, crawl!
No, I was trying to get up.
Eddie, that ain't cover. That's concealment. That's not cover. Yeah, that you need to get lower. Get lower. That's not cover. That's concealment.
Keep moving. Moving!
Now, miles is very rare. It's very hard to find. It doesn't exist really out in the civilian world. So this is a pretty unique experience, pretty unique organization.
One Shepherd spring semester, Warrior Basic day 2. What do you think, Trent?
This is exactly what I signed up for. I'm really looking forward to what the situational training exercises look like, field training exercise, but Warrior Basic course, definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
What exercise did we just finish right now?
So we just ended up finishing some 4-on-4 force-on force. It was a culmination of our training that we had over the last day and a half. Between the 8 of us, we rotated out between 2 teams, so everybody had a chance at fire team leader. And we had some successes, we had some failures, but we learned a lot and we had a lot of fun. And I think that makes it all worth it.
There's nothing there.
What did we just do?
Had fun, first off.
Okay, we had
learned
fun.
a lot, which for me, learning is fun.
So these are going to be for like next year's students. We're trying to bring them in so they know what to expect and know what to look forward to. So like, can you tell them a bit more like actually what we were doing?
So we just had a pretty brief training event where we were essentially learning how to apply the shooting, moving, and communicating that we've already learned, but really under like a high stress, simulated high stress situation. So it's like pressure testing for like martial arts, you know, where if you want to be a good boxer, you have to actually box.
Okay, we were boxing. We're sparring.
Yeah.
Fire team sparring. I like that.
Yeah.
Fire team sparring.
And it was really neat because, you know, every time you got rotated out, you got stuck with new guys.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like I really felt like we were learning a ton as we were going.
Oh yeah.
And then, of course, when
How many repetitions did we do?
4 in total, but it was 1 on each side of the terrain.
And did you see a lot of changes within just those 4 repetitions?
Oh yeah. Guys were out in the open fields at first, and when they got killed, they figured out that didn't work. So.
Yeah, I had my night vision poking up the top of my head like a unicorn.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's probably what's getting me killed because everybody can see that sticking out on top of the grass.
Yeah. It was really funny because when we started off on the second iteration, we were on the other side, and one of the cadre, because like me and my teammate, we were walking kind of like adjacent to the tree line, but not in the tree line. So we're still kind of out in the field. And they said, "What, are you looking to die instantly?" So we were like, okay, we got in the tree line.
Yeah. I think that in the miles equipment really is a good teacher.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's hard to tell exactly who's shooting where at what, but I think there's always some chaos and confusion and disorientation anyways. So, but overall, knowing that, okay, well, basically, like, all right, that didn't work, so let me do something different. Pretty much, that's the beep.
Dude, when you like, I've never actually been shot at, thankfully, right? So I've never heard the crack. But when you hear that thing start going beep, 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 I'm like, oh, I need to hit the deck.
I never noticed it beep, beeping at me, ever. Maybe it was, I just didn't notice.
Yeah.
Once? You did hear it once?
Only once for me, really. Other times it was either...
I think it was just...
Or just... I was out.
I think it was just too tunnel visioned in.
I think...
Maybe that too, I don't know.
You know, you were talking earlier about violence of action, and that's one thing I was trying to say, like, people need to get used to, like, hitting the fucking ground, even if it sucks. Because, you were talking about you need to push. And I did notice that a lot of guys, like, didn't want to get wet or something.
Yeah.
So that's, if you're new, definitely, just, like, you're going to get wet anyways. My boots have been soaked for 2 solid days, so just embrace it.
I've never experienced anything like that. So, like, I'm not big into paintball. I'm really not even that big of a gun guy, to be honest. And, yeah, that was unlike anything I've ever experienced. Yeah, how about you, Brian?
Well, I've been doing this type of gunfighting training since I was a kid. I put it on professional. I do this shit.
Right.
Like I put it on professional, and still I get a rush out of it.
Okay.
I have a tremendous amount of fun on it.
How does this?
And as you could tell, I was dying a lot too. I got shot a lot.
I actually only died once.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think it was the second iteration of that.
So you're always the last man standing?
Not necessarily.
I want to stand next to you next time. You think you're lucky.
Just careful.
Stand behind. Careful. Cautious.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I didn't run out of my ammo. Like, I feel pretty good about that.
These type of drills, for me, these types of drills are for turning up the aggression and experimenting. And experimenting like in a bold manner.
Right.
So that's why you see me kind of like trying these things out, just like, it's fucking different, but let's just do it because they're not going to expect it.
Right, and the bigger team movements probably be a little more...
We have to be cautious. We have to be told what to do, and we have to do what we're told, right?
Right.
This is experimenting time.
Right. Yeah, it was fun, man.
Your first time at One Shepherd, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And what do you think so far? We're 2 days in. We're a day and a half in.
Yeah, honestly, this is like my vacation for the year. So, like, the terrain is beautiful. And I know there's a lot of ticks out in this area. None of us have gotten like any ticks. So like the weather's been kind of chilly and rainy, but I think that's been a good thing overall.
I think so too. Keeps us cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keeps us from dehydrating.
And it hasn't been like too humid either. So like,
I don't know about you. I think it's humid. I'm from California though, so
okay.
I'm used to dry. Yeah. Yesterday, were you wearing safety glasses last night in the woods?
Yeah.
Did you fog up?
Yeah, bad.
Dude, I fogged up so bad. I hang the strings that we put on. I just had it dangle on the string the entire mission.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I was like, please don't stab myself in the eye. Please don't walk into a tree.
Yeah, or thorny bushes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
at the very end, that's what we were in the middle of some thorny, nasty trees.
Were you on the group that was trying to link up? You were already in position when we linked up?
Yeah.
You were in the creek. You guys got caught on barbed wire, right? In the middle of the night?
Yeah, we got caught on barbed wire several times.
Funny.
Yeah.
I think that's a common theme out here. But yeah,
I think they put us in that spot specifically because it was barbed wire, like everywhere around it.
Nice.
So like we had obstacles like pretty much in any direction that we went. Barbed wire mixed with how dark it was.
Yo, dude.
Was insane. Like,
you know, the only things we could see were the fireflies. They were beautiful.
Yeah.
The fireflies are beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen fireflies since I was a kid, man.
Yeah, because I grew up on the East Coast when I was a little kid, and then I moved to California. So California doesn't have fireflies. But I know what they are in theory, and I know that you can mistake them in the night for enemy activity or tracers coming in or muzzle flashes. And I was just thinking to myself, our link up is going to be IR light, blink, blink.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And then
I never even thought of that.
Our team was like, hey, we're looking from the tree line at the creek. We're going to get a blink, blink, IR.
Right.
And we're like, what the fuck? Like all the fireflies are blinking.
No, it ended up you guys were the ones that initiated that call, and then we ignored it and just answered with the alternate call.
Yeah, the verbal one. Right. But the verbal one's what eventually worked out. Mustang, what was it? Mustang Charger, right? Yeah. And I was like, aha, it came in clutch. Right. Awesome.
Yeah, there was a lot of confusion as far as the calls.
That's the first night.
Yeah.
I think the confusion is the point.
Miles equipment. You got to be aware to not shoot at people really close, but other than that, it's very safe and make some noise, but it's not too loud, and it requires very minimal safety gear, or you don't need to have special safety procedures. You don't have to have a whole ton of safety controls. Because it's inherently quite a free-form type of training that allows people to make mistakes without injuring anybody. It's different from live fire training, for example.
You're fine. No. Just hold the block still and just the ring.
Well, I mean, I moved the block.
So this is light duty. After the extra you go through.
What do you get out of this type of training? I think one of the main reasons for this training that a lot of people see from the beginning is like the military style of training, the fighting, the shooting, the moving, the crawling, the yelling, the ambushing, the tactics. Yeah, okay, that's true. But I also see that as not being the primary goal, whereas actually that's a vehicle for teaching things like life experience, problem solving, enduring hardship and being able to withstand the weather and the elements, and being able to build confidence that you can withstand adversity such as sleep deprivation, to then be able to solve unsolvable problems but as best you can. Meanwhile, managing a team, managing the kind of the interpersonal dynamics of everybody, putting people's strengths forward, and then to also develop as a leader I think that really that's the goal here, and I'm really curious to see how they run their program. I've been a teacher for a lot of years now, probably going on, let's see here, about 19 years I've been a teacher, and I've been through a lot of different experiences that have taught me certain ways of leading, teaching, organizing, and yet to be able to see and learn from an organization that's been in existence for 40 some years, I think they know a thing or two about how to run training and how to teach and guide and coach and mentor. And this program, I find just from chatting with guys today, they really have a strong culture of mentorship, of holding hands with people and allowing them to, okay, now jump, fail, fall down, pick yourself back up, let's try it again, and be able to walk people through every step of the way as they start from the very bottom as a rifleman and move into marksman and light automatic rifleman. What we call automatic rifleman, they call it something different. But to be able to go through these roles, and then team leaders, squad leaders, platoon leaders, assistant platoon leaders, and then to be able to take on the bigger picture organization and leadership. And I think that that is really cool, because when else are you going to be able to, within a fairly short span of time, in a fairly controlled environment, when else are you going to be able to experience the full gamut of leadership, such as a whole career in the military, or you know, like things that have real cost, you know what I mean? Like if you were to be in a war, let's say, you know, from Ukraine, for example, you could screw something up and a bunch of people get injured and killed, and you lose a battle, you lose a bunch of equipment. Like there's real consequences for screwing something up. On the other hand, here, you can be in a very similar environment, it's simulated, and you could fuck it up. It's not a problem. It's okay, it's part of it. Failing is the celebrated part of the learning procedure, and I love that. I really like that. I'm really looking forward to it.
So that whole negotiation is occurring between your element commander and your vanguard. What are these other two vanguards doing?
Well, the middle one can help to fix potentially.
Potentially. That's very correct.
So they were just shaded because we had a field off a little bit down in the creek. We knew, okay, likely enemy contact very low because we've come through that field. So we were echelon like this because we're expecting contact up here. So we had guys, that way we kind of got a little bit of flank security with this element up here. We had another guys out here.
One Shepherd, spring semester, 2025. It's day 3. We're getting ready for a night mission. Man, yesterday, day 2, we started at 6 in the morning with a 2-mile hike with all your shit on your back. I was hurting so bad. Everything on me was sore. My freaking legs are sore, my shins are sore. These boots don't fit well. These boots are hurting my feet, and all your shit was wet. All your socks are wet. It was drizzling on us for two days. And then, fortunately, day 2 yesterday was a half day. It was a shorter day. Got into town, did some laundry.
My neck hurts looking at that. You want to straight back.
Sleeping like a baby. Washing socks and t-shirts and stuff. And went to Walmart, got some snacks and hot sauce. Man, I got a bunch of hot sauce because I need the salt. And then some electrolyte powder and stuff. So then we went out for some beer and barbecue. That was great. Getting to really know these guys, and it's just, I watch the older students, the more experienced students, like, you know, they meet up with their friends they trained with for a couple years. You know, they see them spring and fall, and they have great friendships and relationships. Whatever One Shepherd's doing, it's working as far as the community building. So, man, the places here is beautiful. The environment's so different from out west. It's tall grass, flowers, trees are really thick in the creek lines. And we end up just sneaking through the creek lines the entire time, just ducking under branches and, you know, avoiding tripping hazards like fallen logs. Yeah, so day 3, let's see, we started in the morning with building aggression, building camaraderie, teamwork with pugil sticks, learning bayonet techniques. And again, it's not that you need to use a bayonet. It's a good vehicle for getting your body warmed up and limber. It's also good for building athleticism and aggression. And it's a good team exercise, team building exercise. After that, we had a really quick briefing, and some of the students, basically they run approximately three classes simultaneously. You know, so some guys are land nav, some guys are warrior basic like me. We're just learning how to, you know, not fuck up. But we're not in charge of where we go. We're not in charge of when.
We're not in charge of how. We're just in charge of setting security and trying not to fuck something up. It's easy for me because I'm just looking to shoot somebody. But man, night mission on day one. Like day one, we have a long day of training on you know, hand signals and formations and get up, get down, running. And then we do a night mission. That night mission sucked. Hot, humid, fogged up glasses, can't see shit. Even with night vision, can't see shit. It's just blind, man, pitch black, stumbling through the woods, making all kinds of noise, crashing on things, tripping on things, getting tangled in barbed wire fences, just bumbling around for hours, it's challenging. You're trying to find each other, trying to link up, find your map coordinates in the dark. So yeah, like right here, we have more experienced students here. They're in charge of the map and compass. So totally pitch black and their map and compass. And then also yesterday, day 2, block of instruction for the late morning was just gunfighting. It was great. Gunfighting and fire teams. A lot of fun, man. Good shooting, you know. So they give us a creek line, so there's bright sunlight, dark shadows, there's high ground, low ground, tall grass, bushes, trees. And, you know, we're just in that environment, like learning and experimenting, iterating, practicing, like, let's do it this way, let's do it that way, practicing leading. Everybody gets turned to be fire team leaders and think about your game plan and build aggression and, you know, how much shooting we need to do versus how much moving we need to do. You know, what happens if you hunker down? Not good. You hunker down, you get shot one at a time, kind of picked off. But if you're aggressive and you're moving, then you do better. So that was a lot of fun. Tonight, we're probably going to be continuing on today's lesson, which was, well, today's lesson earlier was passage of lines. Linking up with people and passing through them without, you know, getting shot by your own buddies. And it's really important. It's not, I mean, it's okay to pass through and exit your lines into enemy territory, but from enemy territory coming back into your own territory, if you don't got that coordinated out, you get fucked up by your own dudes. We had a good example of friendly fire during the gunfighting drills. The team, the 4-on-4 fire team, 4-on-4. Then we had a class on defense and mobile defense, and we had, you know, played some exercises that illustrate mobile defense being quick, aggressive, unpredictable, and mobile, and harassing, delaying, disrupting the enemy. So we're geared up for night exercise, and I'll bet you, you know, it doesn't take a genius to figure out. It will probably involve passive lines and mobile defense. Right now, the older students, the more senior students, they're getting their mission briefing, and then they're going to present the mission briefing to us. So the regular peons, we're just standing around waiting. We got all makeup on, you know, got slings tied up and night vision powered on, and, you know, so we'll see how it goes. You know, one of the things is I kept on dealing with this LSW, the Klein machine, new bipod prototype I've been testing out for him. And we're, you know, Mike Klein's a great guy. He and I have been chatting at lunch breaks and stuff like that on his bipod design. Give you a look at it. It's a great bipod. I love it a lot. I mean, look at that. That's just mean. Yeah, this thing is called the SAT, the small arms transmitter. It emits the laser that ties into these sensors, and that's how you kill someone. It also marks who killed who, when. But these legs, they're really simple. You just kind of push them down, and when you're ready to fold them up, just push. It's great. Force to overcome. It's really simple to use. But these things kept jingling and clinking. They would clink on the handguard, or clink on the SAT, the transmitter, the laser transmitter. So you see, I had a bicycle tire. I always keep a mountain bike tire in my rucksack. But this mountain bike tire, stripped, you know, cut it into strips, and just tied it on so it doesn't clink, so we can sneak through the woods in the dark. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. This thing, the trigger is an FRT trigger developed by Militia State Armory. This is not a machine gun, but it shoots really well. And yes, during day 2 yesterday's testing, even under stress, even in the heat of the fight, I zero up on somebody and no problem at all. So I'm excited to hear. Now, for the past couple of days, I was the only one running around with the automatic rifle, what they call LSW here. And now they've issued out a gazillion of them. So every team's gonna have an LSW gunner. So we might hear some interesting firefights. But for sure, as we go into the FTX, the last 2.5, 3 days, I think these will play a big role, and I'm excited for it. Now, one thing is a little depressing is I helped bring in a bunch of Enola Gay grenades
because we have an account for Modern Defense. Order them freaking $744 worth of grenades. Well, some of their cadre have thrown a couple of the flashbangs, and they're either fizzles or they're just duds. And I'm pretty upset with them because they cost me, even at the wholesale price, they still cost a good amount of money. And I think maybe it's the high humidity or the moisture when they're in the FedEx storage facility, maybe, or in transit, might have gotten damp. That's a little bit disappointing because, you know, in California at Modern Defense, I love these grenades. My students love those grenades. We use these, the new Mil X3 SB1 flashbangs. They're metal body, pin and spoon, like they pull the pin, they feel good, you throw them, they sound good. Do be careful about starting fires though in dry season. But here it's so green, as you can see, like there's no problems with it. The terrain is just beautiful here at Alpha Company, Missouri, Ullman, Missouri. Yeah, man. All right, well, thank you all for listening. I'm gonna get ready. So let's get this shit on because I heard them suddenly get quiet. So I think probably we're getting ready for our briefing for our lowly peons. Yeah, this thing is called the Halo. You kind of strap it on with zip ties, and it's actually pretty great technology. I mean, this is decades old, but it wirelessly connects to this little computer box you got right here. And when you get killed, you have to reconnect your weapon system, and an instructor will come up to you and reset your system so that you're alive again. But unfortunately, this 360 camera isn't really good for taking night footage, but man, we're doing a lot of night work out here. So I'll try to get you guys some combat footage, some daytime action footage. We'll edit this up. So long. Each one Shepherd semester is broken up into 3 portions. Your first portion is going to be like your technical classes for whatever you're supposed to be doing, what you're supposed to be learning that semester. There's really 6 semesters that you are going to complete if you want to do the entire program. And the first 3 are kind of the warrior programs, and the second 3 are the leadership programs. The ones, you know, because I'm still new, so the ones at my level would be the Warrior Basic, the Land Navigation, and the Warrior Advanced. Warrior Advanced or Land Navigation can come in any sequence. You don't have to do one first, then the other. But you need to take the Basic Warrior first. The Warrior Basic is offered every single time, so you'll never need to worry about that. You can always join the Warrior Basic. Now, as you come in your second time, it's whatever's available for that particular location and that particular semester as they rotate through. If you're to do 3 years or all 6 semesters in a row at one location, you would get them all theoretically, logically, all in one, you know, nice orderly fashion. But sometimes you'll need to change locations, like Bravo Company in West Virginia, Charlie Company, Florida, Delta Company, the new Texas location. Now, the second 2 days are what we call the situational training exercises. They're 4-hour-long missions. They require a briefing, but what it allows us to do is to stop, reset, debrief, and do it again. Stop, reset, debrief, change roles sometimes between patrol leader, assistant patrol leader, team leaders, radio operators. Like, everybody can kind of like switch it around and then try it again. And so we ran several sticks lanes, or STX exercises. One was, I believe, passage of lines. One was nighttime reconnaissance and passages of lines, and then one was a daytime movement to contact. The night sticks lane had a very interesting story, so I'll tell you that now. That way you can understand where I'm getting with this video, because there's a lot of growth that happened during these couple of days, which I did not film. And then the morning sticks lane on, what is this now, day 4 morning sticks lane was a pretty intense one as well, because I was just tired and cranky and annoyed and beat up, sore physically, you know. And also I was going through some transition, some transformation, and it was kind of a confusing time for me. So the night sticks lane, we go out for a night, I don't know what it was, reconnaissance. Go over there to someplace and go look around. As we're doing so, the cadre and role players, Op4, are having a big-ass gun battle just to our right. And it's set up to say that this is a FLOT, forward line of troops. We're going to pass through the forward line of troops. We're going to go do whatever we're doing, and we're going to have to come back through the forward line of troops without having any disruptions or miscommunications or having any blue on blue or friendly fire incidences as we pass through our own friendly forces. Now, once we get out there, we realized there's a gun battle going on. We can't go the original way, so we had to deviate our route. That was cool, land navigation challenge. I just follow along. I'm not in charge of where we're going. I'm not in charge of the mission. I'm just in charge of setting security and moving quietly and doing my best. But this time, by now, I'm kind of getting the hang of it, getting a little bit stronger, a little bit more confident, a little bit more used to the terrain and the weather. And for once, it wasn't raining. That was nice. Now we get out there and they give us a fragment order, a change of the mission. And it says, okay, well, we have a down pilot out there. It's near your reconnaissance objective. So not only are you going to continue with your recon mission, but you're going to be looking around to link up with this down pilot who has a beacon or strobe light, an IR strobe light, infrared strobe light that you have to see with night vision. And then you're going to grab him and come on back in. And we were doing that, but we got a little bit off our waypoints. And as the guys got a little bit lost and we're trying to recombobulate ourselves, we ended up walking along a road. And it's not a really big road, it's a trail. Like I didn't even know it was a road because I'm used to big wide open spaces and open skies. But for this terrain, that's a Jeep trail, at which point, well, we trundled down and, as I mentioned, the sun was out, which means the moon is out and the stars are out. So in the nighttime, if we walked past a clearing and there was some OPFOR, again, their cadre, OPFOR, and they were waiting right there for us. And they're like, oh, crap. Well, again, the OPFOR is not there to win or lose. The OPFOR is there to provide pressure so you're making good decisions, provide a realistic pressure to make you make realistic decisions. Well, as we walk past this clearing, if you will, and we're exposed to the moonlight, then the OPFOR is like, well, here we go, near ambush, right? All chaos breaks loose and they're shooting everywhere and running and shouting. And for a lot of our guys, this is the first time they've ever taken a night contact or a night gunfight. Again, I've been doing this for so long. I've been teaching this stuff. I set this training up all the time. So I know exactly what's happening and it doesn't stress me out. I'm excited as all get up. Of course, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, my dog gets to eat today. I'm firing the automatic rifle, move. And anyways, so of course I'm getting to my happy place. But, something very frustrating happens. Our patrol was probably about 20 guys, something like that. And we were broken up into Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta teams. Now, I was in the Charlie team as the automatic rifleman. Each team has an automatic rifle. And then Delta team is behind me in the order of march. Now, up ahead, we have the Alpha team and Bravo team, including our patrol leader and our radio and compass guys. But they disappeared. They broke contact, they went forward, and they disappeared into the darkness. They weren't far. I knew they're not far. They couldn't have gone very far, but we're not going to just start, like Marco Polo shouting in the dark when the enemy is present, right? So, one of the other guys jumps up. His name's Goza. By the way, Goza's great. His name's Lucas Goza, and his company is Militia State Armory, and he's the one who builds the triggers. So when you're looking at the footage and you hear those, you hear those LSWs or automatic rifles, finally getting their meat in, getting a chance to eat, getting some action. Oh, kill! I'm just getting excited thinking about it. Those triggers are made by Lucas Goza, and they're great. I have nothing but good things to say about those triggers. I did not get a single trigger-related malfunction. Now, this is in contrast to using the rare breed triggers. Now, Lucas's trigger is a modification and upgrade to the rare breed system, trigger system. But I have used rare breed original FRT triggers for a couple of years, and we had to tweak them and adjust them to get them to work under stress. But even so, generally speaking, under stress, they would lock up and not properly function. Again, and then Militia State Armory's trigger is a 3-position. It worked extremely reliably. I'm very happy with it. Okay, back to the story. Lucas jumps up here. We're in the kill zone. We're in the moonlight. We're exposed. We're shooting at the enemy, and we start talking guns. Brah, brah, brah. Hey, Charlie team, get in the wood. Charlie team, push. Charlie team, get moving. Delta team, bound. And then there's goes, boom, 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 boom. All right, and then we're taking turns reloading, we're bounding, we're moving, we're communicating, we're shooting. And so one from Delta team, one from Charlie team, that's me, we were able to provide the cover necessary to get our guys out of the kill zone by having the two of us exposed and shooting back. And we're just on the prone in that road. But as we moved out of the clearing, we were able to reconsolidate, melt into the woods, reconsolidate with the rest of our teammates. Now we had half of our patrol, or about, I think it was 8 or 9 guys, about a squad-sized unit. At this point, we had to figure out what to do. I got us all down into the prone position and into the cigar-shaped defense. And basically, I saw that like our team leaders and our assistant patrol leader, they were busy, they were trying to get up on the radio and the map and do all that work. I said, you know what, like, you guys handle that. Let me clear out some mental space. I'll handle the other things. So I'm getting the guys, laid out in their defense, getting guys magazines changed, getting guys to shut up and sit down or lay down and pay attention. So we just lay down right where we were in our little, from you take a ranger file, just the guys walking like ducks in a row in the woods, in the dark. Some guys have night vision, a lot of them don't. So one of the best ways to set up your defense is just everybody take 2 steps forward. One guy's facing left, one guy's facing right, and so on, alternating. And you end up forming like a caterpillar shape or a cigar shape. And you have somebody watching the front and the rear, the 12 and the 6 o'clock, and you're just a little porcupine. It's like a caterpillar, okay? Like you got spines facing every direction and you're just laying there, trying to stay quiet. And there's the Op 4. I'm like, I swear that's a guy changing his magazine. And I look in the dark, and I was like, motherfucker, there's a dude right there. That's Op 4. And one of the instructors is there. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's just like 30 meters away. I was like, okay, we need to shut up. Like the guys are trying to talk on the radio. They're trying to look at the map. I'm like, I'm trying to kick them. I'm like, you need to shut the fuck up right now because we are about to be compromised and we don't have the combat power. We are lost. We don't know where the rest of our patrol is. We need to like be quiet so that because like, I don't want another engagement, right? We're not set up for that engagement. We don't have much ammunition. That's not our mission to get in a gunfight. And this time, I guess nobody else sees him. I'm looking right at him, but my weapon is pointed, it's on the bipod. I'm in the prone. I'm pointed to the 12 o'clock, and I look to my right and to the 9 o'clock, to the 3 o'clock, there's that Op 4 guy. It turned out to be Kennedy, Jack Kennedy, the guy who I drive with. And I recognize him by a solid color uniform because it doesn't have any splotches. You can look at the woodland, it's got like dark patches, it's got like polka dots in the dark. And I'm saying that is a green uniform, not a woodland camo uniform. That is the enemy right there. And I'm just trying to think like, how do I get my weapon twisted over there to my weak side? But it's on the bipod, it's in the grass, it's making rustling noises. I'm just slowly trying to sneak my weapon over there. And I'm thinking, man, if I challenge him, he's not going to be a friendly, and I need to be in a position to shoot because apparently nobody else is aware or nobody else with night vision can see that direction. And it's on me, but right about this time, our patrol leader comes over here and he's like, hey, identify yourself, like come over, and we do our challenge and password. We figure out that we're friendlies. We figure out that we're on the same team, and he has come back and grabbed us, and we relink up, and we continue the mission. We did find this pilot searching the dark. We went way over time for our allotted, scheduled time hack, our time allotment. And that mission should have been done by like 10:30 or 9:45. We went until like 1 a.m. We took several hours to do it. But man, during the debrief, I was livid. I was so pissed. And so this is where I want to have a really serious, healthy conversation about you guys, because you may look at this as play, as playing hide and seek in the woods and playing laser tag in the woods and shooting blanks at each other and playing soldier. If that's what you see, you're wrong, because you're only looking at the surface. Now imagine if I give you a Christmas present and it's wrapped in paper. Is the Christmas present the paper wrapping and the bow and the card, or is the Christmas present what's inside the box? That's what we're here to talk about right now. And it's going to be a serious conversation because I encountered some very confusing, some very frustrating feelings around this time. And I now, as I reflect upon it, and yesterday talking with my friend Jack Kennedy, and we were able to really kind of like, that's the light bulb moment, and that's the value of why I'm here and why I want you guys to all be here at One Shepherd. So in the debrief for that night, find the pilot mission, after we were ambushed and we got separated, I was livid. Because I was like, Alpha team, Bravo team, you fucking left us in the dark. You broke contact and you ran, and you didn't stay in the fight, and you showed cowardice and not aggression. You should have fought back against the enemy, set up a flanking position or supporting position to then drive the enemy away and then shout, and don't be scared of shouting. Once we start shooting in the dark, we start shouting. Like, there's no need to be sneaky once the fighting has already started. You should have shouted so that we could link up and we could move together as one unit so we wouldn't have gotten separated. That's a terrible, shitty feeling to be on the battlefield and left. And some of my very strong emotions came out of this, and it was kind of sneaking up to me almost unconsciously. And I have a difficult time seeing this as a game. I have a difficult time seeing this as an exercise which is designed to cause you to fail, designed to cause you to have frustrations, such that we could later on reflect on it for character growth. But in the moment, all I could think about was my time in Ukraine, buddies I have who are dead, and the frustrations of like not able to debrief with people who are killed in combat, and they're friends of yours one minute, and then they're dead bodies, and the best you can do is salute that truck as those dead bodies drive away. It is a very, very, very frustrating feeling. And I was trying to like, how can I shake these people awake and just like understand the seriousness and the pressure and the urgency of this situation. They were not getting it, right? Now, good on them. Good on Patrol Leader. He did come back for us. He did come back and grab us. But again, in the moment, so yeah, it feels great to be rescued. But in the moment, it feels terrible to be separated. And again, some of these, you have to understand there's, like as I mentioned with the Christmas present, there's the packaging on the Christmas present, and then there's the present itself. The packaging on the Christmas present is what you see in these videos, the combat footage, the shooting, the moving, the yelling, the explosions. That is just the surface. What we want, what we really gain from where you really learn, and this applies to everything that you do in your life, all of your work experience in or out the military, it doesn't matter. It's not about the military. It's not about military stuff, okay? It's just using this as a vehicle, as a game, as an exercise, because it gives you something that you can debrief and reflect upon, and then you can take those lessons learned and put it into your full life, your regular life. Now, for me, of course, so for those who don't know, I'm a firearms instructor in my regular life, and I am a volunteer in Ukraine, or was a volunteer in Ukraine, and I trained soldiers, and I went to battle with my soldiers. And I have many friends who were killed there or wounded very severely there. So, I have a very unique perspective on this, because this type of exercise has such a high degree of overlap to my daily life that I can't actually separate the two. They look and feel the same. The next morning, we conduct another mission, and it's a mess, right? Not enough time to brief it. So patrol leaders having difficulty managing command and control. We're in the wrong direction. We're moving in the wrong area. We're not reconning the right place. We're trying to find, we're trying to make a movement to contact. We're trying to find the enemy. That's the reconnaissance aspect. But once we find him, we need to get up in the fight and start killing the enemy. That's a very simple mission. Just go out there, find the enemy, and go kill him. And they give us a very small target. It's just an 80 meter by 80 meter square. Like, the enemy will be here. You just got to go over there. And we're having difficulty, right? But I'm getting more and more frustrated. We didn't sleep much. We were up late all night. I couldn't sleep after that, just thinking and reflecting on how that mission went. And then, the next morning was a clusterfuck. And I'm looking at 20 guys clustered together in the daylight. Like, we're in a field. We're not even in the woods. And we're looking up at the sky. 20 guys in the kneeling position in a cluster, in a gaggle, looking up at the sky. And I'm thinking to myself, you have no idea. These people are dead in 5 minutes. Like, you cannot just be looking at the sky in the modern battlefield. You cannot look at the sky. The sky is what will kill you, because there are drones everywhere. There's reconnaissance drones who are going to call artillery. There's bomber drones who are going to drop grenades on you. And there's FPV drones that will hunt you down and kill you in a very personal and a very high-speed manner. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Of course, we find the enemy. Finally, we bumble in directly into their ambush. And we all get slaughtered. Not only did we get slaughtered, but then after we killed the enemy, or I got killed. Everybody else, there were a couple survivors. Not only did the couple survivors, okay, I'll just tell you, they shot each other. Okay, our guys shot each other because they got confused as to who the enemy was and who the good guys were, and it was such a clusterfuck. And as we go back down to debrief, and I don't have any video for this, but as we go down to debrief, there's like 25 people in this room, the mess tent. And as we're debriefing, a kid drops his rifle, one of the new guys. Again, he's new, he's young, he doesn't know, but he drops his rifle. And For anybody who's been in the military, or for me, I have an armory. We have a whole set of weapons and equipment that we provide to our students at Monarch Defense Combat Rifle School. We provide this for free for the students, but this is my lifeblood in the Army, in the military, that you are nothing without your weapon. Your weapon is nothing without you. And you must care for that weapon. That is your girlfriend, that is your wife, that is your soulmate. Everything that you see of value is reflected in the way that you treat that weapon. And he put it on the table and walked away from it and accidentally bumped it, and the weapon clattered to the ground. And at this point, this had happened a couple times already in the week early on, and I was about ready to lose it. And one of my main frustrations was in the Army or in my business, in our combat rifle program, I would have started getting right on this guy's case every single time. Anybody who dropped a weapon, I would have been chewing him out and dressing him down and yelling at them and just getting them unfucked. And my frustration was boiling into a rage. And finally, I just stood up and I was bellowing at the top of my lungs. I was like, "You fuckers cannot be dropping your fucking weapons. You disrespect and blah, blah, blah." I don't remember what I said because I was so passionate. I was so frustrated. And it was a reflection on my frustration with the cadre at One Shepherd, because it feels like the Army. It looks like the Army. And to me, it is, and it was real. And dropping that weapon is a matter of life and death. And standing out there or kneeling out there looking at the sky is a matter of life and death. And getting lost and bumbling into an enemy ambush is a matter of life and death. And then getting yourselves so chaotic and so clustered, so disorganized that you're shooting your friends is a matter of life and death. And the urgency of this was so frantically just like glaring obvious to me that I was trying to like shake people like, "Don't you fucking get it?" And I had a big blow up. And as I let loose my barrage, my tirade of cussing and yelling and knife handing, and as we would train the soldiers, the way that we would address this in any military in the world. And J-Rob, the company commander at Alpha Company, and J-Rob is a very experienced Marine, combat Marine. There's nothing lacking in his experience, but his leadership is so nuanced that I did not understand. And so as I released out my frustrations about the cadre's way of doing things, because I wasn't able to see the subtlety and the nuance of the leadership development. I was only able to see that this is not like the Army, and why is it not? And he shoots me a look. He's right outside the door, and he hears me unload my tirade, and he looks at me, and he's just got that look in his eyes. And I'm like, I don't understand. I'm still in the middle of my tirade. I'm standing in front of 25 people. Everybody's looking at me. J-Rob's like, "Hey, we don't talk to people like that. We don't call them fuckers. Like, that's not how this place works." And I was like, "I'm sorry, J-Rob, I'll turn it down." He says, "Yeah, tone it down." And then I was so confused. I did not understand. I was so confused. I was like, "But they're dropping your weapons. That's unacceptable. Why haven't you addressed it? How have you not possibly addressed this?" And it wasn't until later, I was just really confused and not understanding how this made any sense. And so some of the cadre, one Leo Clark, and then later J-Rob, and we had a good little talk. And man, I just started, like, my emotions started to come up, and I realized I had come face to face with some trauma that I didn't know I had and didn't understand about spending time in Ukraine where there's such high urgency of life and death, and then not able to realize that this is a different place, so this is a different world, there's different rules, there's different mission, and I can't treat everything the exact same way. You have to be able to look at a scenario and choose the proper approach to what is the mission we're trying to accomplish. There was not my place as a beginning student to yell at the other students. I would have done it like that at my own school. But what if, in fact, there was growth to be had right there in the way I think about a problem and how I address a problem? Now, I have, again, everybody's a little bit different, right? But in my mixture of personality, and this is from reflection from yesterday's long drive with Jack Kennedy, one of my main problems is I'm very mission focused. I'm very mission oriented, and everything else can be sacrificed. You're unhappy? Fuck you. I don't care if you're unhappy. You don't like me? Fuck you. I don't care if you like me or not. That's not important. You're hungry? That's your problem. You're cold? Your problem. Your boots don't fit? Your problem. Your weapon's not clean? Your problem. Like, I don't care. because the mission takes precedence. I'm tired, I don't care. I'm hungry, I don't care. Sacrifice that because that can wait. That happens, like the mission comes first. I'm sick, like actually sick, I don't care. Doesn't matter. That can wait. That's a low priority, right? So like my drive to win, my drive to focus on the mission is so high and so strong, and sometimes that I'm willing to sacrifice almost everything else, which now as I reflect on it in my own business, this is not good for business, right? And I know this is a long conversation, but I need you guys to understand that One Shepherd is not about the fighting. One Shepherd is about the reflection and the leadership development, but the vehicle of how we get there, how we can tie together a bunch of rapid combination of experiences that then you can use them as some of the food to digest to gain that growth. That's in the gunfighting and the military simulation. There's a nuance here that took me several days to understand, took me several hard conversations to understand, and it took me because I am training in combat science and art. One Shepherd is doing combat science and art, but not for the purpose of training it. Do you see the distinction here? I am teaching and training in my school, training and doing the combat arts, but it is for the actual technical expertise of getting good at that skill. I'm not saying you should be incompetent. I'm not saying that One Shepherd doesn't celebrate and train in the combat arts. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that is the secondary mission, not the primary mission. And I could not differentiate that. But the cadre were able to pull me aside and show me that there's more than one way to teach, more than one way to guide, to coach, to lead. And you have to choose the proper way. I'll give you an example. By yelling at this student and calling him fucker and yelling at them all like you're fucking wrong and you're doing this bad, how does that make the students feel? And does that make them want to do better? Or does that breed resentment between the commander and the subordinate? Does that breed a conflict when actually it was an opportunity? Such a conflict is an opportunity for growth, for a mentorship model, a guiding model, because these people are new and they don't fully understand the implication of what it means to drop a weapon, which is really bad. It's really disrespectful, and sometimes it's downright dangerous. But then, J-Rob was able to show me, like, there's certain ways that we can teach this. You can, as you talk to them, like, well, like, look, these weapons are very precious. They're valuable. The mile system is very hard to get. It's unobtainable. And they break they do break, and we must preserve them and protect them, because if we damage that system, that Miles equipment, then other future students suffer because we won't have enough equipment. This stuff is discontinued since 2007. It's now 2025. We can't get more of this equipment. We have already been, working hard to scrounge eBay and every possible, flea market for this equipment, whatever's found on government auction. Flea markets, figurative. To scrounge every piece of equipment to set up, so like it's when you explain that to the customer, to the student, to the warrior, then he says, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I should have been more careful. And now it's not external pressure driven for him to change his behavior, but it's now internal pressure, internal forces that drive the individual warrior to improve himself and better himself. Now, given those two, one method might be more straightforward, might be more efficient, might be more time, like faster, just like you do what I say because I told you. On the other hand, maybe for long-term growth and to develop as a human and a person and a leader, father, husband, employer, employee, and a professional, maybe what we need really is the slightly more subtle, slightly more nuanced, but longer-term approach of growing internally to become a better man, become a better person, rather than just getting yelled at and chewed at and getting in trouble for doing something wrong. Do you see the difference? An external punishing force versus an internal motivating force. And these are two models that we could use, but which one do you think is ultimately more effective? And I was able to suddenly have this light bulb moment and realize that. And I reflected upon all these experiences I've had with my business and my students, and times where I've made conflicts with my own customers and students that were probably not very polite or not very professional and not very pleasant, and sometimes downright just egregious, meaning like I probably shouldn't treat people certain ways. I probably shouldn't yell at people like that sometimes, because if I'm a hammer and I look at every problem as a nail and I treat every problem I treat every person as a problem that I need to beat them down, that's one method. it works under certain environments, under certain times it's appropriate, like in the middle of a fight, it's appropriate. In the middle of a war, it's appropriate maybe. But there is so much more nuance that I could learn to gain and to better myself as a leader and a teacher and a father and a husband. And all of a sudden this light bulb came on and the tears came down and I just became really emotional. I was like, all I could see was dead bodies. All I could see was, these people who'd become friends, becoming casualties on this battlefield. Because for me, in my mind, it was so real. The simulation was so real. And the urgency was coming out and I was getting frustrated with, the incompetence. But then pause that for a second and remember, these people here, they're not soldiers. This is not the army. We're not in a war. We're doing an exercise which is designed to give us an opportunity for learning, and everybody has to learn something different. And so some people are learning land navigation, some people are learning command and control, some people are learning basic warrior skills, and some people, in this case me, I'm learning how to coach and guide and lead, and how I can correct a behavior with a gentle course correction, with the proper amount of nudge, the proper amount of course correction, rather than just swinging my sledgehammer at every possible problem. Does that make sense? There is so much detail and so much nuance, but again, this is one specific example, and this is the biggest learning lesson that I received out of my first semester at One Shepherd, is that there's more than one way to solve a problem in leadership and communication, and it takes wisdom and it takes experience as a leader to be able to identify what is the appropriate solution. Sometimes in the middle of a gun battle, you just need to be like, do it my way, fucking do it now. But if we're not in the middle of a gun battle, maybe there is a more effective way. And I had yet to learn that, right? But for me to then realize, to come out of the pressure and the stress of the reality that was in my mind about the war, as you may have heard this phrase before, that you can leave the war, but the war never leaves you. And this is absolutely true, absolutely real. Now, again, granted, I don't have a whole lot of combat experience. I don't have a whole lot of frontline time, but I do have that experience, and it is deep within me and life-changing. And it is something that will never, ever go away. And I can open my eyes and dream. Like I see people, like I see these memories as vivid as day, and they're only in here. They're not in anybody else's eyes. So as I look at these guys training, like it becomes part of the context and the vividness of being there in Ukraine, in the war, and watching my friends get killed, and just seeing that suffering and feeling that intense stress and pressure of being in that environment. And I was not able to turn it off. And for that reason, I was making bad decisions, and people suffered because of that. And this was growth. This was wisdom. I know that was a long conversation, and I know many of you guys are not going to listen to this in its entirety. So if you want to skip ahead, go ahead, skip ahead to the part where we get into the field training exercise. But for those who do listen to this presentation, I need you to know that what you're buying is intangible, is invisible, it is subtle, it is nuanced, it is personalized just to you, only to you. No one gets the same experience. No one gets the same light bulb. No one gets the same lessons learned. No one grows in the same way at One Shepherd, but everybody grows in their own way, the right way for you. Hopefully that helps shed some light. I want you guys to become students at One Shepherd, because I think for the husband, the father, the leader, the teacher, the coach, the professional, the growing young man who's looking for your place in society and in the world, the soldier, the Marine, the officer, the sergeant, for the employee, the person who's a craftsman, who a small business owner. You all have something to gain by the challenges and the experiences and the trials that you're going to find at One Shepherd. Set up in the defense. We've got this automatic rifle in a position looking to the south, covering a linear danger area. Now these guys are smarter. They know not to take the open area, but they're probably going to take the wood line to my right. And if they do, they're going to bump into my team leader and his partner. At which point, I'll know, and the enemy may break contact and may cross this LDA, moving from my right to my left. If so, I'll cut him down. Last night we zeroed the mile system to one of my thermal scopes. Small thermal, low resolution, but our engagement distances are not very far. Basically everything is less than 100 meters. It's raining pretty steadily all day now, but it's not cold. I feel good. Past couple days, I've been really sore. My body's been hurting. I've been wearing helmet and armor with rifle plates and Kevlar. Today I took it off so I can move lighter. This is my field of fire. They issue a red dot, but I took it off. Daytime, I'll use iron sights. Nighttime, I'll use thermal. Mountain bike tire stops the bipod from clinking. The bipod, I wore a mountain bike tire to make rubber bands to attach the foliage. I pulled grass, shoved the grass into my weapon. There's a lot of grass and vegetation on the bipod. I make sure to not cover or block the small arms transmitter for the mile system. If I need to open fire, it'll be rapid rate of fire for one magazine. I got another magazine ready. I'll displace as I reload. Now, to my right, there's my teammate, Bishop. He's a badass. There was a lot of blackberry here. I cut the blackberry down, tied it on with some grass in a bow shape. It builds up the concealment in my position. I can move through it, I can shoot through it if necessary. I want to talk to you about One Shepherd. You guys need to come out here. The growth is not in the fighting. It's not in the tactics. It's a pretty good time and place to learn those things, but it's not the primary mission. Character growth, personal growth, leadership growth, experience problem solving under stress, dealing with challenges and constraints and limitations. That's what we're here to do. And the growth opportunity is immense here. Missouri is a beautiful place. The One Shepherd Alpha Company facility, CMTC, Combat Maneuver Training Center, is a beautiful place. You guys need to come out here. Is mobile defense. The enemy is going to make their attack sometime soon. We receive classes on mobile defense as well as movement to contact. Therefore, it is logical the enemy will use movement to contact as their main method. We are on mobile defense because we don't have the manpower to hold a very long front line. We need to shoot, disrupt their movement and planning, and then to be able to peel back, changing our position to hit them again in a recurring series of harassing attacks. Lunch in the field. What is this? Cheese, tortellini, and tomato sauce. Now, I'm pissed off because I can't find any salt. Who the fuck's idea was it to make low sodium MREs? In the field you sweat and you sweat and you sweat. Man, you need salt. Oh God, I would kill for a bottle of hot sauce right now. We left all of hot sauce at the DFAC, the dining facility. The food here in One Shepherd has been really good this semester. Lady named Sandy, and she's cooking for us from really early in the morning. So it's either 3 meals a day or 2 meals a day and an MRE in the field. Now in the field they gave us 5 MREs per person, plus whatever beef sticks, beef jerky, and candy you brought. So there's plenty of food. And for me, LSW gunner, automatic rifleman, they provide 10 magazines of blanks. Now some of the older students, more experienced students, know they get assigned to radio man. They know that they're going to give up their ammunition to the automatic rifleman. So our radio operator, Hamilton Croy, gave us 3 more magazines between me and the other LSW gunner to split. So we have, 11 and a half magazines per person. And we'll just see. That should be enough. But I'm happy that we finally have a full combat load. What else is for lunch? Need your fruits and veggies. There's applesauce. We need some carbs, probably some crackers. There's some strawberry jam, but I don't really like it. There's no fiber. Can't poop. And then maybe some candy, and if I can dig out a beef stick. No reason to be hungry. So we're dead.
Oh, it's a video. Just enjoy the suck right now.
This is our patrol leader. His miles system is malfunctioning, so you're just going to have to listen to that music because we have to listen to it.
At least you haven't had it for the hour.
There's my partner. We died heroically.
Yeah, tried. Very heroic.
We had a little bit of a mix-up, and anyways, we tried, but I wanted to have you guys join in on this conversation, and the purpose for these videos is, Brent, he's got a lot of really good videos about the program, and it's got good footage of the action, but part of my thought is like, why would someone come here, and what's the thought process, and what do you actually get out of it at the end? And what you're thinking is you get all the shooting and moving and military stuff, but that's not actually the point, and that's how we ended up in this conversation. Oh, look at that. Who's up here?
Friends.
Oh, look at them. Do you see dead people? Team leader. Well, hello, guys. Gentlemen. There's Charlie Actual. There's Assistant Patrol Leader. All right. There's Deanon. Deanon's one of our riflemen. He's also new, like me.
Want me to kill your buzzers? If you could,
yeah, try it.
It's a miles malfunction.
Be right back with you.
Oh.
There's a road that runs east-west. Right now, we're set up to ambush this linear danger area. We saw some movement earlier, heading in the north or west direction. And we were able to call back to the patrol base. It was me and Goza only. Now, these 2 other meat eaters have joined us, and we're ready to get some action. It's 6:30 p.m. Sun's gonna go down in an hour and a half. Right now, we're looking slightly uphill down this road. It puts the enemy silhouette against the skyline. Unfortunately, we have to shoot standing up, so it feels pretty freaking naked and exposed. We're right on this road, and you're standing up against a tree to use it as cover. So, we'll do our best. But we have 2 automatic rifles here. If the enemy is where I think they are, then whenever they try to move north towards our fob, we'll catch them. We'll kill a couple, then we'll break contact. We'll try to split their formation. Some on the north of the road, some on the south of the road. I'm gonna make them work for it. There's the road. Right there, there's our linear danger area. There's, we're going the other direction. That's to the east.
Be nice about it. You got me info on you?
I've got a notebook. I've got a map, but there's nothing written on it. I've got a radio. It's right there.
You got all the things going on.
I got Nifty magazine if you want. I got some candy. You want some candy?
Oh, you gotta keep that candy, bro. I'm not taking your treats.
You can look through that. My map has literally nothing written on it, so there's nothing new, nothing special that you don't have.
Doing my due diligence here. Your whole, it's the whole ass notebook. Oh shit. No, it's still up.
Well, they were exactly where we thought they were. They were scared to cross the road. They were bedded down right on the side of the road. We got annoyed. We got impatient, and we went to go pick a fight. Well, we found a fight, but they greased us all. All four of us. All four of us, because we're right in the middle of a road. Oh, not all four of us. Not all four of us. Oh, it's still on. It's still on.
Doesn't mean you're alive yet.
Yeah, well, I put it in my pocket, but I think it kept falling out. So that was jerking me up pretty bad.
Our cavalry's come to the sound of gunfire.
Remember that mental.
The cavalry's here.
We're gonna be like falling apart.
There's Tom, Southern. Oh my God. Southern. Sexy beast. Look at this meat eater right here. Shut up. Yeah.
Yeah, let's move back a little bit. Just sit here.
He's behind the OC, behind the OC. Behind the OC. Oh my God. Wow. Sorry, buddy. We saw it the entire time. We saw it happening. Couldn't talk to you.
Oh, them getting respawned?
No.
What?
Right in front of you.
Oh, this
Move directly to your left. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, good morning. Day 2 of spring 2025. A Company 1 Shepherd field training exercise. It is about 7 a.m. and my partner, Luke Souther, just woke me up. I was fast asleep for about an hour. We were both awake at first light. For stand 2, we've been taking turns guarding this road. We guarded it for about 3 hours last night, between 9 and midnight. We went back to the patrol base, got some sleep in our sleeping bags, came out again around 3 or 4 in the morning, held it till now at 7. We're waiting for our relief to come and find us. But I want to show you something right here. I was laying in this spot behind these logs. It rained yesterday all day. Not hard rain, just spring, drizzle. But man, we are soaked all the way through. We've been soaked all the way through. And this morning I start looking at the forest, and just the spot where I was laying down has this spot of sunlight. Oh, it's just that sunlight coming through the forest. So pretty. It is so pretty. Last night we were pushing out teams and setting 50% security. So all the teams were basically spread out, one man on, watching, one man resting. But it's hard to get any sleep that way. You're very tired the next day like that, at 50% security. But then our patrol leader got an order, said that we should reduce our night patrol presence, increase our resting, percentage. So then he put about 4 people at a time inside the patrol base sleeping for 3-hour cycles, which is good because even when we're out on position, we're still roughly 50% security. So about an hour or 1.5 hours of sleep for every 3 hours of guard duty. So last night, first shift, the first cycle for 3 hours, I slept about an hour. In the sleeping bag, slept solid 3 hours. That was good sleep. Very tired. And then this morning, just now, slept about an hour, which is after first light. Breakfast in the field is vegetable lasagna with some wheat snack bread and maybe some beef jerky. Fruits and vegetables consist of some Swedish fish, which is a candy. There's no fruit in there, but at least it's colorful like candy, like fruit. And we hurry up and wait. What we've been doing for the past 2 days.
Kicking ass. In here on some mobile defense.
I don't know, my wet clothes were kicking my ass yesterday. It was fucking cold last night.
Well, that's true.
I'll be gentle so you can reuse the duct tape. I'll be gentle.
Oh, yeah.
How are you feeling?
This morning I was cold. I was a shivering chihuahua.
Cold and stiff.
I was
Do you want it tighter?
Hold on.
It's got a little bit of load. I think it should be a tiny bit tighter to pick it up like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
What would you recommend for our next year's new students to One Shepherd? Any nuggets of wisdom?
Always bring a waffle top, regardless of what the temperature is going to be. Be prepared for rain, even though it says it doesn't, or it's not forecasted. And understand that this probably isn't what you think it is.
Yeah, that's a big one. That was a big one for me.
It was that was my outlook as well. So what was different about it between what you thought was going to happen versus what actually was happening?
Well, so me being, I'm not like prior service or anything, so I don't know anything about infantry skills or tactics or anything like that. But, I saw it all on YouTube and I said, that's cool. And let's go check it out. And it looked kind of like camping with guns, and that is not what this is.
But, so you thought it'd be like camping with guns, but then what did it turn out to be?
It is a leadership program where the test is military tactics, and they just have to teach you how to play the game.
Yeah. So the military tactics is the secondary. And
Yeah.
it's only enough so that you can play the game.
Correct.
But the actual game is the leading and failing and decision making and getting fucked up by the scenario or the weather.
Yeah.
Usually because of poor planning, huh?
Can you persevere and make decisions quickly and under pressure? It's really.
And to communicate them. And to stay patient. What would you say? Would you say to stay patient when you're stressed out and tired and grumpy?
Definitely.
Dude,
Just sort of work the problem rather than be overwhelmed by it.
I got grumpy this morning for just a minute because finally got back to the patrol base and I made a pot of coffee.
Yeah.
Canteen cup of coffee, and I had planned this out for like weeks.
And then it's like,
coffee in the field.
let's go. And then it's like, let's go. Turn around.
Well,
Yeah.
And then Hamilton comes sprinting in. He's just like, we have fucking Op 4. They're right there. They're in the prone. They're like, 30 meters away. We're like, oh my God, fuck, we gotta bail out of the, oh my fucking, so I'm thinking to myself, I need to pour my coffee out. I need to douse my fire because my stove's running. And anyways, I was like, no, I want my coffee. So then we get online, we get ready to fight, we get ready to like boogie out of our patrol base, right? And we get ready to like guns ready to, there's fucking goats. The neighbor's goats. I was grumpy as hell because then we had to move out, hurry up and wait. And I was like, I am fucking drinking this coffee.
Yeah, that's Operation Goats in the Wire. That's what that is.
The morning goat raid. Luke, what would you say to next year's students?
Be prepared for the suck.
What sucks about it?
The weather.
The weather? Right now's
Most of the time.
Right now's weather is pretty freaking nice, but it drizzled on us all day, all night. Man, that drizzle. Going into a sleeping bag with like wet pants, wet socks, wet boots, wet raincoat, wet underwear. God, it sucked. Then you have a wet sleeping bag. It was nasty. But I was so tired, I slept like a baby. Yesterday we conducted mobile defense all day, and today we have new orders. We did so well, kicking, as J-Rob, our commander, says, kicking the enemy in the dick. So much so, the enemy has retreated into the defense, and we are gonna go do a movement to contact. Of course, we saw this coming because it's just flip-flopping the roles, because we had 3 classes. Those were passage of lines, movement to contact, and mobile defense. Those are the 3 classes we learned this week, this semester, spring semester. And of course, he wants us to practice both of those. So right now we have eye of the storm, hurry up and wait moment. We hustled out here to set security and then get ready to step off and grab all of our shit and get our rucksacks packed, and not enough time to change socks and stuff this morning, but well, we got like 4 or 5 hours of sleep each, and at 11:30, which is going to be in about 35 minutes, we plan on stepping off to the south, conducting movement to contact, and it should be hot, heavy, and violent all afternoon. So, see you on the other side.
Stop. Look. Listen. Smell. The sills halt. What's the situation? Alright, so we just started establishing our BB over here in the corner. I think the commander's idea is he wants people to just be able to pass by through here and not notice us. Yeah. So probably, I would say, maybe move further away from this clearing. Okay. So that you don't get spotted. Yeah, this spot is a little bit risky because from that direction, I'm backlit. It's really bright behind me in the grass. Yeah. But, you know, also to be able to control both sectors, I gotta be mobile. I figured the creek could give me good, quiet, fast mobility. Yeah. It's not the best, but I can try to move that way and consolidate a little bit to close up that sector, reduce my visibility. That might work. Yeah, all right. Territory, setting up our new patrol base. Once we have that set up, we're going to start sending out reconnaissance and have the main body follow. The vanguards, recon teams moving 20 or 30 meters in advance. Once they jump the enemy and make contact, then the remaining main body will hit it with greater force. Very simple mission. Find them, kill them. in, set up a camouflaged, hidden little hiding spot so we can put down our rucksack so we can rest. And then we're gonna go and hit them a couple times during the day and then figure out their defense line and their strategy and then hit them again in the dark.
Get in there, get in there. Move, move. Watch that friendly. We're attacking, we're attacking. Get in there. We're attacking. Unless you see me.
You see one?
Let's chase. Let's chase.
Chase him?
Hey. Be aware of you are up.
Hey, don't stand there. Don't stand there. We're exposed.
Hey, watch friendly, watch friendly.
Yep, I see him. Which way? Let's get in the trees. Yeah.
Friendly. Friendly.
They're in the fight. Push to the left. We're too exposed here.
Southern, back and bring south. Cover him, cover him.
Displays to your left. Once you fire, you move. Got it? Once you fire, you move. Heinz, displays to your left.
Heinz, displays.
Heinz, to your left. Quietly, quietly. I'm moving to my... Brian, you go. Down to the left. I'll anchor you. Yes! I got left side. I got left security. Moving. Get the fuck down!
Call him out! What's the 3Ds?
Sounds cool. Sounds like 30 meters. Can't see him. I'm not sure. Malfunction.
Give me a distance! 20 meters! Direction! East! Northeast!
Watch friendlies to our right.
Heinz, move up. Don't shoot from the back of the bus. Jade, is that you on the left?
Yeah.
Good, I'm coming to you. Jade, right in front of you, heading uphill.
I'm dead.
Bad guy? Are you sure? Straight ahead, 12 o'clock. Who's 12? Do me a favor, bound to my left, please. Look at that. Need support. Bound to the left. You know where he is. I'll keep you covered. Whoa, 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 for blue on blue. Blue on blue.
No, it's not.
That's not blue?
One in the creek, one south of the creek.
Is that woodland or not?
Blue 4, dead on me. Blue 4, dead on me. Blue 4, dead on me.
There's a guy right behind that tree. Okay, we got ours on the right, push on the left. Spread up more to the left. I see some movement. Place.
Fine, over here. Me and Wayne.
On the left side is ours.
Another on the left.
Who's on my left?
One right there.
Yeah, don't point your weapon in. He'll accidentally shoot you. Let's stay spread. A little too visible. Heinz, can you set security more to the right? Where is he? Call him out. You see him?
Yeah, straight fucking left, 50 yards.
50 yards. Other side of those trees?
In those trees.
In those trees. Brian, you got it?
Moving that way.
I'm supporting. Heinz, coming to you. Good, you back up?
Yep.
Heinz, I got your right flank. You focus on the threat. Deneen, stay frosty. Look to your left. All right, Heinz, I'm going to get you rear security. It's okay. We'll get it later. Don't think about that now. I got mags for you if you need it. How many did we kill?
5 or 6, I think.
Okay, there's more. There might be 2 more or so out there. Because we killed some previously, right? Deneen, can you get a partner, Deneen? Deneen, you and Heinz are setting security for you guys in the back. But my back is pretty exposed, so you guys work quickly.
Move up.
Stay low, Brian. Oh, he's dead. Oh, that's Hamilton.
Right side, do you have visual on that right side? How far can you see?
Change your match. Cover me while I change match.
Help us out.
Let's push forward a little bit so I can get a different vantage point and search the trees for warmth.
Cover.
Okay. I see some movement to the left.
This is dead angel.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. All right, moving to your left. Stay out of the sun, remember. It's easy to see if you're in the sun. Okay, I got left side security.
Okay, we got left side security. Right side bound up. We're going to pull a line. We're going to get over the regiment, the crest. We're going to get up to the back side of this hill and set a line to
Okay.
hold the ridge.
Go, it's our turn.
Everyone here?
Just wait
Copy?
for him to sit down.
Bounding. Alright, he was running. To your guys is 11 o'clock. 50 meters.
I see him. Set.
Move in. Running. 50 meters. Alright, 50 meters. To my 12 o'clock. Down behind the tree. He's up. Right
Wang's
side,
moving up.
Left side. Hold security.
Got left side security.
Alright, he's running again. No, he paused. 70 meters. Bound in.
Let's not chase. LOA, LOA. Hilltop, consolidate now. LOA, Hilltop, consolidate now. Fuck yeah, Bishop. Yeah, Brian. Who's got security on that side? Okay. Hey, who's having malfunctions? Are you? I'm having a lot of malfunctions. I need to oil my weapon. No, Deneen, I need you up on the weapon before I oil. So you take your turn, drink water, that's fine. Bishop, can you look to your right while Deneen gets a canteen back in? All right, great. You guys ready? I need to oil my weapon, so I'll be down for just a second, okay?
6 o'clock, to the rear.
Your rear. Who's on our rear?
Wang's got security.
No. You guys have any visual on if that's green or blue?
Who got hit?
Are you fucking dead?
Wang's up.
All right. Hands up. You guys pull it in.
No.
We're gonna bring security on this. Or
Hey, are you Woodland?
Hold your spots. Just keep your sectors.
Are you Blue 4? Fucking dead guy, let's go check him. He might be Blue 4.
More out there. I saw another one.
Is he green or is he Woodland?
I just saw another one movement.
Okay, Wang, you hold rear.
Holding.
McBee, look to our north. I just heard a click back there. We have other enemy coming into our front, not our rear. We do have rear still. I want 2 on front, 2 on back.
Hey, Charlie. I like that sound that you're making. It suits you well.
Right side.
Talking from a guy died twice.
Are you dead?
You guys at our 3 o'clock.
We're in it.
Our front is to the direct.
Hey, hold up. Hold. Hold. Okay. PID.
Because they're gonna try poking in on us.
Do we got the cavalry coming?
We have a helper coming.
You said. Do you know where he's coming?
And then
When you said cavalry coming, this dude came up our back, so I didn't shoot at him. And then he started shooting at us, and I still thought he was Woodland for a while.
that's half of it. I talked to you.
Yeah. And then only when I heard a beep beep, then I knew he was shooting at me. So I killed him.
Contact, don't do anything. Let them come to us. They'll have to get out in the open to reach us.
The defense is much stronger, gentlemen.
Yeah, we're in defense now.
We can take a 3 times size force. How many people we got?
I got
4.
4?
right in front of me.
We can take on 12.
Okay. You 2 are keeping that way. Wang, you keep that way.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
watching down here.
Wait till you can.
360 perimeter.
Wait till you can see the whites of their eyes. Make sure you have positive identification.
Yeah, don't give away our position. Stay low, stay tucked.
Dude, you guys, that was crazy. We infiltrated into this area they call the shoebox, and we made contact. As we were infiltrating, we made contact with one of their outposts. Got ambushed, got a couple casualties, but I broke off to the left to watch our left flank, and pretty much stayed on our left flank for the rest of that several-hour gunfight. And it just so happened that there was a guy in the bushes waiting to kill us from the side, from the flank, and I got him good. And from there on, it was just a gunfight for hours. It was probably like 2 hours straight gunfight. Kick ass. We got a bunch of them. We got them good. And something very interesting to me, up until now, I've been dying in every gunfight, like right in the beginning, because I've been moving very aggressively up to the front and pretty much up to the middle. Also, I've been doing a lot of shooting. So this time, me and also this other automatic rifleman named Heinz, I said, let's try something. And whatever we did, it's been working. I said, let's try something. Only 2, no more than 2 short bursts from whatever piece of cover you're behind, and then move. Because what I'm finding is, we spend too much time shooting. The enemy zeroes in on your muzzle flashes, fixes your position, and then flanks it, and then kills you from the side. You know, the automatic rifles draw a lot of attention. They make a lot of noise. They've got a lot of muzzle flash. So everybody focuses on returning fire to you. Well, in this case, fire a couple rounds, either semi-auto or short burst. No more than 2 bursts in displays. 2 bursts in displays. The other thing is, you'll see in the video, I made a point to just hold the left flank. Right, I'm right-handed. Naturally, I point to the weapon to the left. That way forces the enemy to not be able to flank us to the left. Having good flank security, it's like being online, but like bending the end in a little bit on both ends. Well, at the very end, so we were methodical. And eventually, there was the 4 of us on top of this hill. And we just held the hill. We put our backs to each other. We faced every single direction. And as the enemy would try to come up every possible way, sneak up to us. We would just keep them at bay and kill them as they came in. Toilet paper, toilet paper.
It's doing the thing.
Say hi to next year's students.
Hello, next year's students.
What do you think?
Same
thing. It's a blast.
It was a blast?
Recommend it for everybody.
Wild.
We could have done without that first night, but it's still a blast.
What, a night in the rain?
Yeah.
You didn't like the rain?
Oh, it was a bit cold.
Oh, okay.
Bring muck boots.
Muck boots, huh?
Muck boots, yes.
First, oh.
No, bring an extra pair of boots. Yes.
Words of wisdom for next year's students.
I'm too tired for that. Buy Gore-Tex.
Yes.
Buy Gore-Tex.
All the 5-hour energies.
5-hour energies. You drug addicts.
Biggest advice for you though, lift and run and ruck, like physically prepare yourself. That's the biggest.
But not on a treadmill. Not just on a treadmill, but on rough terrain.
Gotta get out and do it.
And in your gear if you want extra credit.
Wear your gear. Hey, McBee, how long did it take you to get your gear tuned up the way you like it?
How long?
Yeah.
I started on my gear a year before I even came here.
And you're 4 seasons in?
Yep.
Or 4 semesters in?
Yep.
Is that nominally 2 years, approximately?
I suppose.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe even a little over 2 years now.
What's the secret to packing light?
Take only what you know that you will use.
Make sure you're up to par in your land nav.
Last thoughts, Mr. Kennedy.
Experience cold weather for yourself and get to the point where you're comfortable in it so that you don't freeze to death on an FTX. There you go. That's my last thoughts.
What was your mission?
Our mission was to run a mobile defense from 1900 to 1950. Then we came back into the patrol base, cleaned it up, highly trampled through this area. So us using that avenue of approach, no one would think anything of it. And there was also a
Well, there we have it, folks. Kansas City Airport, time to go home. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you at One Shepherd next time.